Welcome to week 1 of my Premier League predictions. We are going to be doing this every game week throughout this season, and we're going to be doing predictions for every single game. We're going to be using a very, very simple point system. 5 points if you get the exact score. 3 points if you get the correct result, and 0 if you get nothing. And after each week of fixtures is done, we will do a review video where we go over our thoughts on the fixtures as well as how many points we got for that week, with obviously a maximum of 50. So for the first time in the 22-23 season, join me in my Premier League predictions. The curtain raiser is Crystal Palace against Arsenal. Now, I've said good things about Palace so far, however, I've said even better things about Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus is going to be the catalyst for change, I think, for Arsenal this season and to help them keep banging in the goals, whereas last season they were spread all over the place because their strikers just were not firing. Palace are good, but I think that Arsenal are just going to be a little bit too much for them, and even though they will be away, I think Arsenal are going to pick up the win here and win 2-1 to start off the Prem season. Next up, we have Fulham against Liverpool, and I mean, this is a pretty obvious one, isn't it? I'm going to go with Liverpool to win comfortably 3-0. Whether we see Darwin starting and scoring, we'll have to wait and see, but Liverpool, I mean, they're just monstrous, aren't they? Fulham couldn't really ask for much of a worse game to start the season, to be honest with you. Like, even Man City might not be as bad, because Liverpool, you know, they don't take time to get up and firing, so I think they're probably going to batter them. Fulham are going to really struggle and lose this one. Next up, we have Bournemouth against Aston Villa, and I think that Villa are just going to edge this one. It's going to be tricky. Bournemouth away, first game of the season, and whilst Liverpool probably aren't going to struggle with going away to Fulham, you don't want to be in this position for the first game because you know they are going to be ready to go. Just like last season with Brentford against Arsenal pulling off the upset. I think, though, Villa are just going to have too much for them. Buendia, Leon Bailey, Coutinho, all stringing passes together and creating a load of opportunities. I think they're going to put at least one away and they're going to take the win here. Next up is Newcastle against Forest. A lot of pressure on Newcastle this season with the obvious massive amounts of money that have been injected into the club since the new owners have come in, but they're up against a very, very good Nottingham Forest team who went from basically the bottom of the championship to the top in the space of like 6 months or something insane. It's crazy. So I feel like this could actually be a really, really good match. And so I think it's going to be a score draw. Spurs up against Southampton. I just think they're going to have too much for them. Spurs under Conte, an absolutely different beast to what they've been over the last, I don't even know how many years. Very, very sturdy side. And with new additions in Basuma, Richarlison and Perisic, they're going to be even better this season. Luckily for Southampton, only one of those can potentially play, and that is Perisic, who may not even be match fit. But they still have to deal with Kulusevski, Son and Kane. So I think they'll be in a bit of trouble. Leeds are up against Wolves to kick off the season. And these are two teams that I don't think they'll do incredibly well. So I'm just going to go with a 1-1 draw here. Neither of them are really inspiring me so far with their transfer business and stuff like that. So it's hard for me to really think that one of them has a distinct advantage over the other. Obviously, Leeds has a good atmosphere at home games. But yeah, I think I'm going to stick with a score draw again in this one. Everton are at home against Chelsea. Frank Lampard is going to be loving this one. Or maybe not so much. Chelsea have signed Raheem. They've signed Koulibaly. But they're still lacking a little something. And their desperation in the transfer market right now is clear for everybody to see. So are they going to be struggling? Are they going to be cohesive? It's hard to say. However, I think that even a Chelsea team that's basically not playing very well still has the advantage over Everton. If last season is anything to go by, them under Lampard just didn't really work that well, and so I have no reason to believe that it will work this season. I think they're probably going to be in a little bit of trouble again, and they really need to hope that his managerial techniques improve slightly, otherwise they're going to struggle. Then we have Leicester v Brentford. Unfortunately, I'm actually going to be missing this game as I am currently away in Amsterdam for a stag do. So it's one of the only league games I have missed. I think this is my second league game that I've missed in about 15 years. So that sucks, but hey, once in a lifetime thing, isn't it? A stag do. So it's a real shame because it looks like it could be a really good opener to the season for us. We have some positives to go with, transfer market not being one of them. Brentford have got a few as well, but losing Eriksen and stuff like that, not ideal for them. We really, really need to go straight at it and blow them out the water to start this season. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No, which is why I've gone for 2-1. I think that we will concede because our defensive frailties are most likely not going to have changed. I don't really see how or why they would have. We have lost Schmeichel, but Ward or Everson, whoever plays, I think will still do a good enough job. They're both good keepers. And so I think we'll win, but we will concede and we'll start off the season lacking a clean sheet once again. Man United play against Brighton to kick off their season, and I think that Ten Hag is going to get things off to a good start. Brighton are decent. Cucurella is most likely not going to be playing at the time of recording. He's not signed for anyone. He's here we go to Chelsea, and he's basically been told to avoid training with the first team. So that will be a big loss for Brighton. Man U, on the other hand, Martial is injured. Maybe Ronaldo will start, but in pre-season they've been looking good. Rashford and Sancho on the wings looking very, very solid. Eriksen, a great signing for them as well. There are many reasons to be positive if you are a United fan for the first time in a while, and so I think that they should comfortably get off to a good start here and get the win against Brighton. And the last one is West Ham against Manchester City, the reigning Premier League champions, going away to the Olympic Stadium. I just don't see anything other than a City win here. I know that West Ham have actually troubled Man City plenty of times in the past, however, they do now have Haaland and or Alvarez. So they're a bit of a different beast at this stage. I think that West Ham have done a very good job in keeping hold of Bowen and Rice, and that is going to be a massive factor for them this season, although they do have to navigate the Conference League when that does come around. But to start off the season, as much as I'd love to say I think West Ham will be able to do a job here, I think Man City are just going to be too good. They weren't incredible in the Community Shield, but I don't think they really care about that. This is the beginning of them most likely dominating the league. I think they are going to take the win. So there we have it. Those are my predictions for the first game week of the Premier League in the 22-23 season. What are yours? I am absolutely, I'm so intrigued to hear what everybody's thoughts are regarding this season. Obviously, we're going to be doing a ton of videos, both here and on TikTok. So if you want to see short form content, basically these kind of videos will be summed up in 1 minute. Sometimes on the day of the video release, sometimes the day after, and that will be another way to consume this content. So leave some feedback down below, leave your thoughts down below, thumb it up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.